Morning, welcome to the North Tyneside coast. This is my first sunrise shoot with the Bronica. It's the first sunrise shoot with film in general. It's been a very long time since I've shot film at sunrise. I'm feeling a little bit under pressure, I'll be honest. Now I've had a little bit of a nightmare that I forgot my phone, which I know you're probably thinking, well, what does that matter? Well, the reality is, not only do I use it to check if the camera's level, I also use it for the exposure meter because it's got a light meter on it, and this camera doesn't have a light meter in it at all. So that's really going to cause me some bother. I've got another film camera with me, which I'm going to see if I can set the ISO on that manually. I'm not sure, there isn't a film in it at the moment, and see if I can do it that way. If not, I'm going to have to resort to taking a shot on the camera's filming at the moment and getting the exposure off that and then dialing it into here. It's not ideal for your first shoot, but you know, it is what it is. And back in the days, I never used to have a phone when I was shooting film, so really, you know, but I did have a light meter, and that's what thing I'm most lost with. It's not so much the phone, it's the light meter. But anyway, I've composed a shot. I'm using an 80mm lens on this, so that's equivalent to 50mm on 35mm terms on your full frame terms, which, to be honest, I don't get on with 50mm at all, never have done. But because this is a square, I'm finding 50mm is actually not too bad. And what I really want to try and do is stick with one focal length for a while and just learn this focal length inside out before I get myself another prime. So, you know, this is only the second roll of film. It is what it is. Now, whether the sunrise is going to do much, I'm not really sure, but yeah, we'll see. I've found myself a convenient rock, which I'm using for a makeshift table, which is, it's working fine, to be honest. It's working fine. So I've got an old EOS 300 here. So I've set my ISO to 100. I'm going to set my aperture to 16. And I'm going to hope I'll get some sort of meter reading. 10th of a second f16, this is saying. Going to remove the dark slide. I'm going to go and put that back in my bag. I'm going to take a shot. I don't think it's actually there yet. So, f16, and now I'm going to almost zone focus. So I'm bringing on the lens, I'm bringing the aperture mark back to f16, which means that basically everything from infinity to about 5 meters away, which my main, as you can probably see, my main point of interest is a group of puddles here. So yeah, hopefully that will work. Again, 1/6 of a second. So I'm going to go for 1/8 of a second, put the mirror up, and unlock the camera, always useful. Let's go. That's the first shot. So I'm just going to grab a shot with the video camera and take another meter reading and see how that's looking. I'm a bit worried about that last one, to be honest. Right, I'm just going to check depth of field preview. I'm just going to make sure that what I've dialed in is about right. We take so much for given with digital cameras, the ability to be able to check everything pretty much immediately and to see the meter reading I took was pretty close on that camera to this camera, so I'm quite confident that actually it's not as bad as I thought it was. I've got a little bit of light happening now, so I'm going to... It's a good little camera, this little EOS 300. I think I paid the grand total of £10 for it. It's all right. It's all right. So I'm taking a meter reading from the rocks, which is giving me roughly 1/4 of a second at f16, and from the lighthouse, which is giving me 1/15 of a second at f16. Now you would think that the lighthouse would need a bit of overexposure anyway because it's white. So 1/4 second, I think it's actually probably not far off, but we're getting a bit of light now, so I'm just going to take another one. And I think I'm going to leave it at an 1/8 of a second. I think that's probably all right. Mirror lock up again. We're so used to cameras doing everything for us, you know, and it's, I don't know, I enjoy this slow process. I think I'm only going to get one shot today. But the whole process of using, especially a medium format camera, it's just so slow. You can't rush anything about it. Anyway, let's go. I'll stop waffling. Shot number 2. Done. Now I'm going to check the film is actually winding on, and this may sound stupid, but from experience, I need to make sure it's happening. That's all looking good. So really what I'm waiting for now is the light to hit these rocks here and to hit this little bit of a plateau. I need some golden light on here. And I think once I get the golden light, that's probably going to be my shot. I can't see much happening cloud-wise. I really hope I'm wrong, and I really hope it happens, but it's a waiting game. Now, whilst I'm waiting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little bit of a walk around and see for any other alternative compositions once the light actually breaks. Now, what I would be doing normally is I would be using my phone because I've got a viewfinder app on it. And with the viewfinder app, I could actually frame up the shot. But annoyingly, as I said, the phone's at home or in the van, one of the two. Overweight, not with me. Which also means all the horizons might be a bit skew. It is what it is. I'm going to check my horizon. I'm so annoyed with myself. I'm going to change the prism for waist level finder. I'm going to rephrase that. I'm going to try and change the prism for waist level finder. Just like that. I've purchased the waist level finder a couple of days ago. Just makes me feel a bit more like a medium format film photographer. The question is, will I get through this video without falling on my bottom? Yeah, it's lovely. Not necessarily the shot, just the viewfinder. And I love the fact that I can spring that up. Everything's looking really nice and sharp, to be honest. Need some cloud. I think probably the worst thing about this shoot at the moment is the fact that I haven't even had the first roll back. So I'm not 100% sure that everything's actually working perfectly on the Bronica. I can't see why it wouldn't be. I bought the camera from a camera shop with a warranty, and they say it's been tested, so it should be fine. This is also interesting, my first time using Ektar. I've never used Ektar. Ektar is a colour print film. Now, when I used to shoot film, I never shot print film, like never, apart from black and white occasionally. And I always shot a positive film, so I always used to shoot the original Fujifilm Velvia. That was my film of choice, in 35mm format, which was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But I've never shot print film. But as I'm scanning this anyway to go on a computer, and I'm not necessarily going for the sort of saturated film look as such, but I'm not, admittedly I've gone for Ektar because I'm not sure if a portrait might be a little bit too muted. I don't know. I'm learning. It's all part of the challenge. I'm going to slightly fine tune that composition, I think. Oh, that's weird. So, with this sort of waste level finder, everything, basically it isn't corrected. So I look like I need to go more to the left. So I'm swinging the camera around to the left, but actually I need to go more to the right. Hope you weren't expecting a fast frenzied video today, because that's definitely not happening. Yeah, the light's coming over. Not sure how long we're going to wait. And just in case you haven't gathered, it's this patch here. That's my most of interest. I might actually take another one now because the light's looking quite nice. 1/8 of a second there, 45 of a second there. I'll bring that down half a stop really, 30 of a second. About 1/8 of a second. I'm going to go for I'm going for 30 per second. So, mirror lock up. You've got to love that sound, haven't you? That's it. Now, if any of you guys out there do your scanning at home, I'd be really interested to know what you think about the Epson scanners. I've been considering the V600 simply because it's quite cost effective. But I'm a bit worried that the quality is just not going to be good enough. Now, if anyone's got any thoughts, any user experience, if it's worth it, you know, please do let me know. Would be super useful. In fact, if you've got any kind of tips or hints, or, you know, tell me where I'm going wrong at any point, just do let me know, please, because I'm learning this again. It's been a long time since I've shot film. I think for me, I quite often will just set up one composition and just wait until the light happens. And I see, especially on workshops, when I'm running workshops, I see a lot of people who don't want to wait for the light. They'll just take the shot and then try and get another composition in. And I'm not sure if this all boils back down to my film background, that I'm quite happy setting up and just waiting. It's very therapeutic. And I'm very lucky to have this on my doorstep. So it wasn't to be. I did take one final shot, but by now the light was too harsh, and to be honest, I don't think the sun was ever going to hit my foreground interest. But it wasn't a complete waste of time, because sometimes I find you can actually learn more by making mistakes, and at least now I know that my camera is fully working, apart from perhaps the first shot, which I'm really not sure what went wrong there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do consider giving it the thumbs up, maybe subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again very soon.